All right, now that we have practiced solving one-step, two-step, multi-step equations and solving equations with decimals and fractions, today we're going to talk about solving literal equations. So literal equations, we're going to practice it with any equation with a bunch of variables in it. Variables, remember, are the letters that represent something. But let me give you kind of a real-life example just to show you how this would actually be applied and used. So if I told you that the area of a triangle is found using the equation A equals 1/2 base times height. Let's say you were only given the area and the base. Okay, so to make life easier, what you could do is you could go ahead and solve the equation for h, and then plug and chug, and it would make life a little easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice solving for different pieces of that equation. So we're going to take that equation and we're going to solve for h. Now don't get overly intimidated by it just because it has a bunch of variables. The process of solving is exactly the same as what we have been doing. We're just going to be moving all of the letters to the other side to isolate one, to get one of them by itself. So for this equation, the last lesson, we talked about, hey, there's a fraction. How can I get rid of that fraction? Well, I can multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply this entire side by 2. Anything I do to one side, we have to do to the other. So this 2 kills the 1/2. He's gone. So I'm left with BH. On the other side, I have a 2A. Now that A being capitalized is important because it represents area. So make sure if a letter's capital or lowercase, you keep it that way all the way through. Now B and H are sitting next to each other. So what are they really doing? They're multiplying. The opposite of multiplying would be divide. Well, I'm trying to get the H by itself. So which one do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the B. So I'm going to divide by the B since that's who I need to move to the other side. Anything we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So bring your H down, and then we have 2A over B. And that is solved for. H is all by itself, okay? Notice that nothing really disappears. We still have the A, the B, and the H in the equation. They're not going to just go away. All right, so let's practice another one like that. Let's do one like this. So this was example 1. Here's example 2. Let's do A plus B minus C equals D. And we're going to solve for B. Okay? So, what do I need to get rid of? I need to isolate this B right here. So what else is over there? Now the other stuff that's over there is being added and subtracted. So how do we get rid of it? We get rid of it by adding and subtracting. We're going to take the opposite operation. So I have a positive A, or we can think of it as plus A. So the opposite of plus would be minus. Remember, anything you do to one side, we have to do to the other. That gets rid of this A. And what do we have left? We have B minus C equals D minus A. All right, so B's still not alone. What else is over there with B? Okay, here's our B. I have a minus C. The opposite of minus would be plus C. Anything we do to one side, we do to the other. Bring that B down. Now on the other side, C doesn't go with anybody. He's not a like term, so we're just going to bring everything down. Okay? You don't have to have that exact order, but you do need to have the correct sign in front of each of those letters. B is all by itself, so we have officially solved for B. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do MN plus P equals Q. And we're going to solve for M. Okay? So this would be just like our two-step equations that we did. Okay, exact same process as those. There's just a bunch of crazy variables in here. Okay, so I'm going to do my dotted line straight down from my equal sign, and now I'm going to start solving. So I need to isolate the variable. Well, this m and n are attached, so that's who I need to get alone. So I have a plus p. The opposite of plus would be minus. Anything I do to one side, we have to do to the other. So this guy's gone. Bring down that mn. Then on the other side, what do we have? Those can't go together, so we're just going to write them next to each other, q minus p. Okay? And now what do we have? We have mn, m times n. So I'm going to divide. Now who do I need to be alone? I need m alone, so who do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the n. So that's who we're going to divide by. We're going to divide the whole other side by n. So he's gone. We're left with m equals q minus p over n. And you solved for m. Okay? Now I want you guys to pause the video on this next one, and I want you to try this one on your own. I'm going to put it over here. So you try this one. You're going to do r minus d e equals t, okay? And you're going to solve for e. Okay, so you're doing this one all on your own. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try it now. All right, let's try a little bit harder ones. So this next one that we're going to do, going to have a couple more steps in it. We have p times q minus r equals z. Okay, and we're going to solve for e. E? Nope, we're definitely not solving for e. Let's try r. All right, so back to our multi-step equations. What do we always do with the number in front of the parentheses? We distribute. Same thing here, except now we have a p. Okay, so we're going to distribute that. So we're multiplying. Well, how do we show two variables are multiplying? We write them next to each other. So we have p, q, and p times negative r would be minus p, r. Bring down that z. All right, I need to solve for r, which means I need to get this guy alone first. Okay, so I have a positive pq. Positive or a plus pq would be the opposite is minus PQ. Anything we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Okay, so this guy's gone. I have, don't forget about that negative. I have a negative PR to bring down equals Z minus PQ. Okay, so what's our next step? Next step, we have to get that R by itself. Well, all of these guys are attached, which means they're being multiplied. The opposite of multiplying would be division. What do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the negative p. So that's what we're going to divide by. Then divide the other side by negative p. So that's gone. I'm left with r equals z minus pq all over negative p. And there you go. Okay, let's try another one like that. So the next one, we have, this would be number 5, we have g over h minus j equals p plus s. We're going to solve for g. Okay, so what are we going to do? First step, isolate that variable. Who do we need to get alone? The g. These guys are attached. Okay, so what else is over there with the g? We have a minus j. The opposite of minus j would be plus j. So anything we do to one side, we do to the other. That gets rid of this j on the left. We're left with g over h equals p plus s plus j. Remember, all the variables are still there, and they don't disappear. All right, so g over h. G over h. That would be g divided by h. Opposite of division is what? Multiplication. We're going to multiply this whole other side by h. This is gone. And we have g equals h times p plus s plus j. Now, a lot of people will accept that as your final answer, so you could leave it just like this. Occasionally, you might see it going ahead and distributing. So you could see HP plus HS plus HJ. But normally, you'll just leave it with that H out in front, and you're good to go. Okay, so you guys try this one. The next one that I want you guys to try is P minus H over Q equals R. And I want you to solve for H. Go ahead and pause the video and try that one on your own. All right, the really cool thing about these problems is you can actually apply it to even more than letters. You can actually apply it to crazy equations with other stuff in them, because anything can represent a number. So the next one I want you to look at is one with shapes. We have triangle. Oh my, I don't know what happened to my triangle there. How about triangle plus heart equals square? And we're going to solve for the heart. Okay? But it's the same process. Exact same process as before. So we have triangle plus heart. So who do I need to get alone? I need to get the heart alone. Who else is over there with the heart? A positive triangle. The opposite of a plus triangle would be a minus triangle. So this is gone. We're left with heart equals what? These are not like terms, square and triangle, so you can't put them together. So we have square minus triangle. The heart's alone, so you're done. Okay? We're just manipulating the equation. We're just moving everything to the other side to get one dude by itself. Let's try another one. Let's try heart. Open your parentheses. Triangle plus star, close them, equals smile. And we're going to do it for the triangle this time. So anytime we have those parentheses, what do we look to do? We look to distribute. So we're going to take that heart and distribute it. Well, those aren't numbers. You can't put them together. So they're multiplying together. We're just going to write them next to each other. So heart triangle plus, then take your heart to the star. So we have heart times star equals the smile. Okay, now let's start isolating our variable. So here's our dotted line. I need to get the triangle alone. These guys are attached, so I'm going to box them. Who else is on that side with that box? I have a plus heart triangle, or heart star. Well, plus heart star, what would the opposite be? Minus heart star. Minus heart star. That gets rid of this, just like it does every other time we do something like that. So we're left with heart triangle equals smiley minus heart star. So what's our next step? The next step would be to get that triangle alone. What's attached to the triangle? A heart. So we have heart times triangle. How do we get the triangle by itself? Opposite of times would be division. So I'm going to divide by what I need to get rid of. So the heart's gone, and I have triangle equals smile minus heart star all over heart. Triangles alone, there's your solved equation. Okay, let's do one more together like that, because I know those are kind of funky. We've never seen anything like it. All right, let's try this one. This is number 8. Square over triangle minus circle equals heart plus star. We're going to solve for the square. Okay, so dotted line, there's no distribution, no combining like terms, so let's just start. I need to get the square alone, which would be this guy right here. What else is over there on that side with him? I have a minus circle. The opposite of minus would be plus circle. Anything I do to one side, we have to do to the other. So that circle's gone. We have square over triangle equals heart plus star plus circle. Remember, none of those are like terms. We just write them all next to each other. All right, what is the triangle doing to the square? I need to get this square all by itself. So I have square divided by triangle. Division, opposite, would be multiplication. So we're going to multiply by the triangle. That guy's gone. Then we're left with square equals triangle times heart plus star plus circle, and you can just leave it just like that. And there's your answer. Okay, you guys try this next one. I'm going to make it multiple choice because Canvas doesn't like when I don't with all the shapes. So you try this one. You're going to do triangle, heart, minus smile equals square for the heart. Okay? So write these down and then try it. Square plus smile plus triangle. There's A. Here's B. Here's C. Don't do this in your head. Make sure you guys are actually trying this, okay? Because we got to know how to do it. It is going to be on your test so that we can see that you know how to solve no matter what it's applied to. So there's your options. Go ahead and pause the video and try that one on your own. Once you finish this problem, you're done with this section of notes, so you can move on to your next task. Have a great day.